Rick's List, CNN weekday afternoons, 3 Eastern.
What's the situation? What are you seeing as you walk around?
I am standing in front of Christchurch Hospital, which is the major trauma center for Canterbury area and Christchurch, and I'm relieved to say that we have not had any fatalities. The emergency services have been bringing in injured people, mostly with walls or objects having fallen on them, lacerations, mild head injuries, but as I said, no fatalities. The public response has been very calm. The civil authorities here have asked the citizens to not rush to hospital unless they truly suffered severe injuries, and we hope there's no one buried under the rubble who cannot make it here, but so far we've done fine. We've probably seen 70 to 100 patients this morning.
What time was it when the first impact was felt?
It was around 4:40 a.m. It was a prolonged impact. It felt like it lasted for minutes on end, followed by a quick succession of four significant aftershocks, and those have been now spaced out in time. I just felt the seventh or eighth one while waiting on the phone here with you a few minutes ago.
Wow. Where were you when the impact was first felt, and what did you do?
I was at home sleeping. I awoke actually suddenly before the shaking began, and just stood in the doorway. My house was intact, and I immediately left for the hospital. All the lights went out. The city fell in darkness. Sirens started sounding, and I came to check on our patients and to help in the trauma bay.
What are you doing at the hospital? Are you working off of generator power at this point?
We have generator power in the emergency department and in the operating theaters. We had no power on the wards. Our neurosurgery ward had part of the ceiling collapse, and the patients were very swiftly moved together with the neurology patients. The nurses have been doing a fantastic job assessing them by flashlight, waiting for the sun to rise this morning. And as daylight broke, we saw an increased presence of air patrols and fire engines and police cars trying to assess the extent of the damage and to make sure no one is buried under rubble.
And the answer to that question really is unknown at this point, right? Because at least from what I can see in some of these pictures, it looks like there are some buildings, not all, but some buildings that were devastated.
Indeed. Christchurch is an old town, and even part of our hospital was built some years ago with different building standards, and so there's no telling now what the true extent of the damage is. As I've said, we've just had the first couple of minutes of daylight, and it's uncertain of the damage. I can say that we know the airport is closed down. There are cracks on roads. As I came here this morning, there were cracks in the road, and there have definitely been disruptions in power, phone, rail service, and so forth. So, given its Richter score, I'm still impressed by the low number of casualties, and I'm thankful for it.
Well, you know, you have a city there of about 380,000 people. As I check the numbers of your population, that's an awful lot of people. What do you do if you're one of those residents of that city and you've just experienced something like this? I've never been in an earthquake. Do you go back into a building, into your house, or is everyone standing out in the street waiting to be told what to do? What do you see?
People, particularly due to the darkness in the middle of the night, I think there was a bit of panic. People on the Pacific Rim are pretty well educated about standing in doorways and reinforced areas, and then going outside far from other buildings. Which is exactly what I did this morning. I've been through the Kobe earthquake in Japan, which was, of course, a greater magnitude but much higher devastation. New Zealand doesn't have quite the same urban level of urbanization, and there are not too many very high structures in the city. And so I'm hopeful the victims will be few. There's certainly many people without a home. The junior doctor, the house officer helping me this morning, turned up to work and said, I'm here to help you with the patients. And about the 10th patient later, suturing everybody up cheerfully, he said, by the way, I've lost my house and I have no roof, and here I am at work.
Jeez.
And
Doctor,
so the attitude is pretty impressive.
Dr. Koga, that is impressive, and it's impressive for you to be able to come on and tell us your story.